The story begins with a plane flying over the deep Amazon jungle. Inside the plane, our main character Justine is sitting peacefully with her friends while returning home. Everything looks normal at first, but suddenly an unknown creature attacks the plane. Because of this, the plane completely loses control and starts falling from the sky. Within seconds, the plane crashes straight into the thick Amazon forest. The impact is so powerful that the back part of the plane breaks apart, and one girl gets thrown outside at high speed. As the plane keeps falling lower, many passengers are also thrown out one by one. Seeing this, everyone inside the plane starts screaming in fear. After a few moments, the plane finally crashes and lands in the middle of the jungle. The accident is extremely horrifying. Sharp tree branches go straight through the pilot's body and kill him instantly. One girl is already dead on her seat. The remaining survivors quickly run out of the plane in panic. But their problems are far from over. The moment they step outside, one student accidentally gets caught in the spinning fan blade, and his head is badly cut off. During all this chaos, their GPS tracker also gets lost somewhere in the jungle. Now they are trapped in the middle of nowhere. Their mobile phones are completely useless because there is no signal at all. Because of this, they cannot contact anyone for help. On top of that, the sponsor who knew the most about this dangerous area is now lying dead inside the jungle. But the real horror is only beginning now. Suddenly, Alejandro hears some strange sounds coming from deeper inside the forest. When he listens carefully, he realizes these sounds belong to a nearby tribal group living in the jungle. Alejandro thinks maybe these people can help them reach the camp through the river, so they can finally get rescued. But the biggest problem is that the tribe cannot understand a single word they are saying. Instead of helping them, the tribal people suddenly attack the group. During the attack, Alejandro's girlfriend gets killed, and the remaining students are hit with poisonous darts that make them unconscious. After some time, Justine slowly opens her eyes. As soon as she regains consciousness, she realizes she is lying inside a wooden boat. The people sitting around her belong to the same jungle tribe. Out of fear, she quickly starts trying to untie the ropes around her hands. But the moment she moves, one tribal man angrily shouts at her. His body is completely covered in black paint, and he looks like a ruthless butcher from a cannibal tribe. Soon the boat reaches the riverbank, where many more tribal people are waiting. It does not matter if they are children or old people, every single person has painted their bodies red. After that, the captured students are carried toward the tribe's village. As soon as they arrive there, the tribe gives them a very strange welcome. Everyone around them starts touching them in a weird and uncomfortable way. But when the students saw human skeletons hanging from the trees and human skulls placed on bamboo sticks, their fear became even worse. After some time, they finally reached the tribe's large huts. Just then, an old man slowly walked toward them while using a stick for support. He was the elder leader of the tribe. Inside the tribe, his words were treated like absolute law. He simply hit his stick against the ground once, and instantly all the noisy cannibals became silent. Then he slowly walked closer to the students and carefully looked at each one of them. After that, he started speaking something in his own language. None of the students could understand a single word he was saying. They all looked at each other in confusion. A little later, the tribe members took them away from there and locked all of them inside a cage that was normally used for pigs. Outside the cage, a large crowd of tribal people gathered around them. They stared at the students the same way a butcher looks at animals before slaughtering them. But the fat boy turned out to be even more unlucky than the others. He was separated from the group and left alone. After that, an old woman came near him carrying a bowl filled with strange water. She forcefully made him drink it. In the next moment, the tribe members pushed him onto a large stone. They even cut the ropes tied around his hands. Before he could fully understand what was happening, several strong men grabbed his arms and legs tightly. Then the tribe leader stepped forward and, without any mercy, used his knife to pull out the fat boy's eyes in a single move. After that, he started eating them with great pleasure. Then he cut out the boy's tongue and cruelly ate that too. At the same time, the black-painted butcher picked up a huge knife and started cutting off the fat boy's arms and legs one by one. Within moments, the poor boy was completely chopped into pieces. Soon the boy's dead body was turned into food for the tribe. They cut his flesh the same way a butcher prepares pig meat. Every part of his body was carefully separated. Then they covered the body with something that looked like special spices and placed it inside a mud oven for roasting. After some time, the smell of cooked meat spread across the entire village. Even the children started drooling because of hunger. On the other side, Justine and her friends became even more terrified after seeing all this. Now they fully understood that they had truly become trapped prey for a tribe of cannibals. But out of everyone, Alejandro was the only one who stayed calm. He secretly took out his phone and tried to search for a signal so he could call for help, but nothing worked. The way the tribe sat together and ate their food looked exactly like a normal human feast, which made the entire scene even more disturbing. The only difference was that the food on their plates was human flesh. However, this tribe also raised pigs and cows. Along with them, they also kept captured humans locked inside cages. The prisoners ate there, slept there, and even used the same place for all their needs. But as night arrived, the cannibals quickly went to sleep because there was no electricity in the village. To keep the darkness away, they lit large fires around the area. Seeing this chance, the college students slowly started discussing a plan to escape. The bearded man said that if they could somehow find their GPS tracker, then he might be able to contact outside help. But Alejandro replied that it would not make any difference because the tribal people were standing guard everywhere. He also said that once the tribe finished eating the fat boy's meat, they would eventually kill all of them too. Hearing this made Justine extremely angry because Alejandro was the one who had brought them into this dangerous jungle, and now everyone's life was at risk because of him. But they could not simply sit there and wait for death, so one girl decided to climb out through the top of the cage. However, the moment she stuck her head outside, one of the tribal guards instantly shot her with a sleeping dart, and she fell unconscious right there. The next morning, Justine noticed a small tribal boy sitting near her. The boy kept staring at the necklace hanging around her neck. His eyes were fixed on the strange whistle attached to it. Justine thought that maybe if she became friends with him, they might find a way to escape from this place. So she gently blew the whistle and created a soft musical sound. The moment the sound echoed through the village, the black-painted butcher arrived there with several other tribe members. He pulled all the girls out of the cage and took them to the same place where the fat boy had been cut apart. After that, the girls were forced to remove their clothes. Then the old tribal leader once again began inspecting each of them one by one. After some time, 2 girls were sent back to the cage, but Justine was taken away separately. A little later, heavy rain suddenly started pouring from the sky. As the rain became stronger, all the tribal people returned to their huts except for a few guards. Seeing this opportunity, one of the girls inside the cage decided to escape. She used a phone ringtone to distract the tribal guard. Then she quickly climbed to the top of the cage and escaped outside. Back in college, she used to be a fast runner and an athlete, so even the slippery ground could not slow her down. While running, she suddenly noticed a wooden boat lying near the riverbank. She immediately rushed toward it and escaped from the village using the boat. After the rain finally stopped, the tribal people dragged Justine back to the village. Luckily, there were no injuries on her body, but strange red and white paint had been spread all over her face and skin. Her friends could not understand what this meant. Even Alejandro looked completely confused. Then suddenly they noticed a tribal girl nearby whose legs were tightly tied together. The moment they saw her, everyone finally understood what was happening. Actually, the tribe was preparing to marry Justine very soon, and after that they wanted to do terrible things to her that nobody could even imagine. The moment Justine learned the truth, she became even more terrified. Just then, Alejandro coldly told her that she should consider herself lucky, because the people who married into the tribe usually stayed alive longer than the other prisoners. Hearing this made the bearded man angrily tell Alejandro to shut his mouth. Then he tried to comfort Justine and promised that they would somehow escape from this place. Around the same time, a few tribal people came near the cage carrying bowls filled with food. While the food was being handed out, Justine again noticed the same small tribal boy standing nearby. Once again, she softly blew the whistle hanging from her necklace. The boy quietly listened to the sound without moving his eyes away from her. Meanwhile, Alejandro laughed at her and said that all these efforts were completely useless. After that, he started eating the strange food inside the bowl. Nearby, the blonde-haired girl was feeling nervous because she was a vegetarian. But in the end, hunger became too strong, and she slowly started eating the pieces of human meat. However, when the bowl finally became empty, she noticed a tattoo mark lying inside it. The moment she saw it, she realized that the flesh she had just eaten actually belonged to her friend, the same girl who had escaped from the village earlier. In complete shock, she immediately broke the bowl and used the sharp piece to cut her own throat. The truth was that the tribe had secretly caught her friend, killed her, and cooked her body. But before the others could fully understand what had happened, the blonde girl stopped breathing. Still, the remaining students did not want her death to go to waste, so they secretly forced open her mouth and pushed some drug-filled leaves deep into her throat using a stick. Their plan was simple. If the cannibals ate her body, then the entire tribe would become heavily drugged. Luckily, the tribal people never noticed their trick. When the black-painted butcher arrived, he immediately chopped her body into pieces without hesitation. Then her body was placed inside the same mud oven for cooking. Soon the strong smell of roasted meat spread through the village again. After eating the meat, many tribal people started stumbling around in strange ways. It looked like they had never experienced such a powerful drug before. Seeing this perfect chance, Justine and the bearded man quickly escaped from the cage and started running away. But when another boy also tried to escape, Harvey suddenly punched him and knocked him unconscious because he did not want to become the cannibal's first target. Justine had no time to save him, so she and the bearded man immediately ran deep into the jungle. After some time, the unconscious boy finally woke up. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw two tribal men sitting nearby while laughing strangely under the effect of the drugs. Looking at them, he thought maybe he could quietly escape from there. But the cannibals were now completely addicted to human flesh. Suddenly, one of them grabbed his hand and bit into it with his teeth. Terrified, the boy instantly got up and started running with all his strength. But the other tribal people nearby quickly jumped on him from every direction. Within seconds, the boy was surrounded from every side by a crowd of cannibals. Everyone started tearing apart his body like wild vultures. In only a few moments, his body was ripped into horrible pieces. On the other side, Justine and the bearded man kept moving along the riverbank. They believed they were finally getting closer to the rescue team. But while crossing the river, Justine suddenly slipped and fell straight into the fast-moving water. Hearing her scream, the bearded man panicked. Without thinking about anything else, he started running beside the river while chasing her. Somehow, using a long tree branch, he managed to pull Justine safely out of the water. After that, they continued moving deeper into the jungle and eventually reached the same place where their plane had crashed earlier. The dead bodies of the passengers were now hanging from bamboo sticks. Their bodies had dried under the sunlight and wind, and they had become food for the cannibals. Seeing this terrifying sight made Justine shake with fear, but the bearded man immediately rushed toward the broken plane because he was searching for the GPS tracker. Finally, he managed to find it inside the wreckage, but there was one huge problem. The battery of the tracker was completely dead, so it could not work anymore. Just then, Justine suddenly heard the sound of a mobile phone ringtone. Both of them quickly started checking the pockets of the dead bodies lying nearby. After searching for a while, they finally found a phone inside Alejandro's girlfriend's pocket. The two of them became happy for a moment, but suddenly the tribal people, who had been hunting them like wild dogs, finally reached them. Even after escaping with so much effort, they were captured once again. Back in the village, the tribal women started preparing Justine for the marriage ceremony, while the bearded man was tightly tied to a wooden pole. Then the black-painted butcher gave him one of the cruelest punishments imaginable. It was worse than a living nightmare. First, he broke almost every bone in the man's body. After that, he covered his entire body with a sticky green mud. The sweet smell of that mud attracted nearby ants toward him. Within a short time, hundreds of ants climbed onto the pole and spread all over his body. They started biting his skin without mercy while he screamed loudly in pain again and again. At the same time, Justine was fully prepared for the marriage ritual. Soon, the old tribal leader walked toward her while holding a small knife in his hand. He was just about to begin the ceremony when suddenly loud screams from outside the village echoed everywhere. Hearing the noise, the old leader instantly stopped the ritual. At the same moment, one tribal man came running into the area while carrying a freshly cut human head in his hands. The truth was that the rescue team had finally entered the jungle. This meant that new prey had arrived for the cannibals on their own. The moment the tribe leader heard this news, he immediately ordered everyone to go hunting. Within a short time, almost the entire village became empty. Only a few women and children were left behind. Among them was the same small tribal boy who had listened to Justine's whistle before. Seeing the perfect chance, the little boy quietly untied Justine and set her free. While escaping from the village, Justine also tried to free the bearded man. But the man stopped her and told her to take the phone and run away immediately. Still, Justine did not want to leave him behind. Suddenly, the small tribal boy hit the man unconscious and in the very next moment cut his throat. In this way, the bearded man died a painful death. Watching this completely broke Justine emotionally, but there was no reason for her to stay there anymore. As soon as she started running away, Alejandro, who was still locked inside the cage, begged her to take him along too, but Justine left the traitor behind and continued moving forward alone. The small tribal boy guided her through the jungle and took her far away from the cannibal village. With his help, Justine was finally close to escaping the jungle. Before leaving, she gifted her small whistle necklace to the boy as a thank you, but while crossing the river, some tribal people suddenly spotted her. At the same time, they also noticed a jaguar nearby. The tribe believed this animal was a sign of good luck and a sacred creature. When they saw that the jaguar did not attack Justine, they accepted it as a sign and stopped chasing her. After crossing the river, Justine witnessed a terrifying battle. The cannibals and the rescue team were fighting face to face, but the rescue team had much stronger weapons, so many tribal people started dying quickly. Justine accidentally entered the middle of this gunfight. After seeing the dead tribal bodies lying around, an idea suddenly came into her mind. She immediately took out her phone and walked toward the rescue team. She quickly tried to convince them that she was not one of the tribal people, so they should not shoot her. The moment the commander saw the mobile phone in her hand, he immediately called her toward the security team. Finally, the soldiers stopped attacking the tribe. But before Justine climbed into the helicopter, one man asked her if anyone else had survived survived. After hesitating for a moment, Justine clearly answered that she was the only survivor and everyone else was dead. After this, she was safely taken back home. Meanwhile, Alejandro was left behind forever among the cannibal tribe. Soon, the news about Justine surviving the dangerous plane crash spread across the entire world, and overnight she became famous. However, she never told anyone that her friends had actually died because of the cannibals, and not because of the plane crash. Instead, she told the world that without the help of the tribal people, she would have died inside the Amazon jungle after the crash. She did this because she did not want the tribe to become extinct. Later, after finishing an interview, Justine was about to sleep when she suddenly received a phone call from Alejandro's sister. She revealed that satellite images had captured a man inside the jungle whose entire body was painted black, and his face looked very similar to Alejandro. This clearly meant that Alejandro had now become the tribe's new black-painted butcher. And with this shocking suspense, the movie finally comes to an end. If you liked this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel to see more such videos. Thanks for watching.